Hey folks, what's going on? It's Coach Gavin here from Training for Warriors Kildare. So, in part one of our kind of 3 blocks to simple success, that's a really good title. That's what I'm actually going to call these series. The Training for Warriors, 3 blocks to simple success. So, this is the follow-up. So, in part one, we discussed how to assess where you currently are, which is very important, and then how to also decide whether you need to, kind of which direction you need to go in. Now, to start off with part 2, what I would say is, do you go and change each block at the same time? No, no, just don't, because as men, we're not great at multitasking. I think it's time we all accept it and embrace that with loving arms. But all kidding and joking aside, when we split our attention across more than one field or more than one kind of area of focus, we decrease our ability to A, either successfully complete it, or B, complete it in an adequate time frame. Okay? Now, the time frame you achieve, pardon me, the time frame you achieve things in is all relative, really, because you know, again, you arrive where you need to arrive exactly when you need to. So, this video is going to be about kind of, okay, you found out that you're not where you need to be when it comes to your sleep, nutrition, or training. And you've decided, okay, I want to make a change here. And we finished off in part 1 by saying, make one choice, or decide on one step you're going to take to bring you to the next place. So, this video is going to be about some actual steps you can take in your life right now. Like, you could do this today and have progress. So, first thing up is sleep. Firstly, have a tech cutoff point. TV, laptop, iPhone, iPad, even music, I'd say. All that stuff, you gotta have a cutoff point. When is it? You know, studies are saying maybe 60 minutes to 90 minutes before bedtime. Is that realistic in the world we live in? Yeah, probably not. So, I'm currently trying a half an hour cutoff. So I wrap up the gym at 9 o'clock in the evening, so by half 9, 10 o'clock, I kind of knock things off. My bedtime is between 10 and half 10. Yes, I know, a 29-year-old man with a bedtime. You know, who'd have thought it? But that's for a very specific reason. Why is the tech cutoff important? Because it enables our brain and our mind just to slow down as well. Because you know that when you're checking Facebook before you go to bed, just scroll through, I'll just have a quick look to see what everyone else is doing. Yeah, that's going to keep your mind way more active than it needs to be. So, like a hyper child, your mind needs to kind of decrease its activity level before it can kind of comfortably doze off them as well. Now, as anyone who's ever watched a film with me, gone to the cinema with me, lived with me can attest to, I have a really good habit of falling asleep very quickly. And even a good mate of mine, Matty, down in Australia, Matty Carlin from the gym Yamba, me and Matty shared a room in Vegas a few years back. This story's going somewhere. And literally, mid-conversation, I fell asleep. And Matty was like, bro, what the fuck, mate? He was just stunned by it. But just because you can fall asleep quickly doesn't mean you're falling into a deep sleep. And in video 1, we discussed how our body's on that frequency or on that rhythm where we need to make sure we're falling into as deep a sleep for as long as possible, and that's where our recovery and our growth and our progress is, okay? That's why babies grow so much so quickly, because they sleep so well and they eat so well. Maybe we should act like babies more often then. Have a bedtime. We said 7 to 8 hours is the target, so if you're getting up at the same time every day, here's some simple maths. Count backwards from the time you get up at, and that will give you the time you need to go to bed at to get that block of time for sleep. Then lights out, lights off. Get your room as dark as possible. Again, that's going to, you know, the technical term escapes you now, but it helps us drop into that deeper sleep. If the light's still on, we're not hitting that deep sleep. Yes, we're asleep, but we're not asleep. Okay? Chill out, temperature-wise and mentally. Okay? Your bed will heat up naturally then as well, okay? So just gradually, don't be wrapping yourself up in layers and layers and layers. Okay, if it's a little nippy, yes, of course, wrap up. But try and keep your body, allow your body temperature to cool down as much as possible. And also mentally, chill out. So if there's something stressing you, pen, paper, write it down. It's like that scene in Harry Potter, if you've read the books or watched the films, where he pulls the thoughts out of his head with the wand and puts them in a little bowl, and it gives him the clarity to look at the thoughts uninterrupted then as well. So a pen and paper will do that for us normal muggles every day of the week. Harry Potter reference. So Next up with your nutrition, okay? Firstly, identify what's missing in action, okay? So what is not there, and then add it in. I know, just the world has just been rocked in a big way, okay? But you see how simple this is, but because you see how simple it is, you go, can't be that easy. Can't be. How am I going to drastically change my life, my relationships, the shape of my body, the health, my parenting skills, my career path with something so simple? Give it a try, okay? Go sniper mode. One at a time, add back in the things that are missing in action, okay? Don't try and add everything in all at once. It's going to get real messy and you're not going to be able to maintain it, and then you go back to square one, and in some cases you'll go back to a new square one, which is even worse than the original square one, and then you go, why am I ever going to bother changing ever again? Because every time I try, I fail. And that little sentence right there is what most of you guys have been saying. It's what I've said sometimes in certain areas of my life. Why am I bothering going to try and change? Because every time I try, I go arse about hell. And then we have a separate video on our YouTube channel about questioning, it's not questioning whether you are the issue, but more so what you're doing. Go watch that, it's really good. So sniper mode, one at a time. And I don't just mean, let's step back here. When we talk about what's missing in action, we refer to your proteins, your fats, your greens, your water, and even your starches, okay? So the 5 areas. Add one at a time as you're going back in. But not just throughout your day. Take one meal at a time, see how those 5 elements are there. Take your next meal, see how those 5 elements are there. Take your third or fourth meal, however many meals you have a day. Look at them from all those 5 elements. What's there, what's not there. One at a time, one meal at a time. And then training, real simple, the cardio versus resistance debate. How many resistance sessions are you doing? So resistance session being dumbbells, barbells, TRX, gym rings, gymnastic work, any kind of strength and conditioning stuff as well. Lifting water bottles does not count. Okay? So, are you doing any resistance sessions, or are you just, I'm always walking, I'm always cycling, I'm always running? Which isn't a bad thing, don't get it twisted here, okay? It's good to have consistency. But, if we've accepted the fact we want to change, then we need to maybe make some changes on that aspect too. What's really cool about this one is, if you have a coach and you have a trainer, they're the ones qualified to make these changes for you. Even if you don't have a coach and a trainer and you have a standard membership in a commercial gym or whatever, they have staff there. I was one. Go and approach them, book in for an appointment, get a new program. Do that every 4 to 6 weeks. Okay? Keep the staff accountable, keep yourself accountable. Win, win, win. The staff get better, you get better, and then by having better staff allows you to get better as you go along. God, it's such a vicious circle. The intensity of your workouts. Are you doing resistance work, but you're only kind of fluting around? You know you're lifting slightly lighter than you should. And this isn't about going all kind of Betty or Billy big balls here, okay? And lifting the most you can. This is lifting the most you can for the amount you have to lift it for, okay? And again, this all comes down to your trainer, your coach, someone keeping an eye on you then as well. So just keep that in mind too, that this area here we get a little bit of help, which is really cool. The volume, the approach, and the layout. So the volume, the total amount you do over your workout. You know, are you doing too much? Are you doing too little? Where do you land on that scale? The approach, your style of training, you know, how you go about doing it then as well. Maybe that needs to change too. And thirdly, the layers. For some people when they're starting off, which currently is myself as I'm trying to kind of rebuild the foundations of my daily routine, is sometimes just doing the same workout but in a different order can be as beneficial. Mentally, you don't get in that same rut of, you know, I'm doing A, then B, then C, then D, then E. Switch it up. You do your warm-up and your prehab work as normal and then go into reverse manner. But I really got to stress kind of the training aspect here. Don't go tinkering with it yourself. If you have a coach, go to him or her. If you have a trainer, go to him or her. If you're doing group sessions or whatever, you know, kind of, it's a little tricky. You gotta kind of negotiate that one a little bit too. If you don't have a coach or trainer, go get one. They're not that expensive. But even if you do think they're expensive, look what you're gonna get from them as well. Feeling better, looking better, mentally better. Yeah. Okay. See where we're going with this? And you know, we know sometimes the stuff we say and how we say it comes across a little, that's a little harsh, it's a little confrontational, but that's what sometimes we need to be awoken and to move on. Right guys, that is part 2. There might be a part 3, we're not too sure yet. We're going to wait and see kind of how we map this out, because we're only going to film stuff that we feel will actually serve a purpose and bring a benefit to the people watching it. Thanks for your time guys, talk to you soon, take care, bye.